Greg the Hammer Valentine appeared on, what's the name of the podcast? Flingsinger Games Podcast. I've never heard of this podcast. I'm not dissing it. No disrespect. No ill will intended. I've just personally have never heard of this podcast before. But Craig the Hammer Valentine made some very ignorant statements about women during a Q&A at a Wrestling Geek Fest. Valentine said that he would be running WWE very differently if he were in charge. In addition to having slower paced matches, he would put an end to the entire Divas division. You heard me right, said Greg the Hammer Valentine, direct quote, "I would send them all out to the strip bar and fire them. I'm not knocking how physically they look. I won't go that far. I'd fire every girl wrestler I ever saw." Now, as far as the reasons women have no place as professional wrestlers, women don't draw any money. They have horrible matches, and that female wrestlers take jobs from male wrestlers that need to support their families. Direct quote, "I love women, but they've got to realize their place," Valentine stated. He said that women are not supposed to be wrestlers, MMA fighters, or boxers. He added they need to be home washing dishes and cooking and pregnant and barefoot. Ignorant fucking comments. Yeah? Very ignorant fucking comments right there. Now, the co-host named Wiggy Wawaski, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She posted a statement on Facebook with regards to the questions and all that, if this was really legit, if Valentine really did say all this. Now, I'm going to have something to say with regards to Valentine and this podcast. You're going to love what I have to say with regards to this, but here's what Wiggy had to say. So, I've had a number of people ask me about the comments Greg Valentine recently made concerning female wrestlers, so I'd like to just clear a few things up. One, yes, that did happen on the show I co-host. Yes, I was there when it happened. I hosted the live show like I have for the last 2 years. Number 3, we never asked for his views on women's wrestling, and neither obviously myself nor my co-host or anyone at Flingsinger Games agree with his antiquated opinion. Finally, I've been specifically asked why, as the female host of the show, didn't say anything to him or in general when it happened. Quite frankly, it came out of nowhere and was so unexpected and shocking, I couldn't even think to say anything to him. Alright, so let's just stop right there. You've been podcasting now for 2 years. 2 years. So you've probably had your share of interviews in those 2 years. Anybody that is in this field of podcasting, anybody will be able to tell you if they're really, really serious about getting their shit down and making it be as tight as fuck, smelling like peaches and cream, anybody that's in podcasting will tell you one of the things that comes with the territory is learning to improve. With each episode, with each week that passes, each month, each year, it's all about perfection. So I can tell you, when I was doing this the first 2 years, it was a lot of hands and go type of situations. It was always, okay, first for everything. Okay, well, we learn what happens when this happens. Okay, now it's very rare. I almost have, as of next year, I'll have 5 years under my belt. Right now, we're about to have 4 years come, I think, November. We're going to have 4 years under our belt. So I've learned a lot. It's very rare I get rattled. Rattled in a way where, whoa, that was unexpected. But you've been at this for 2 years. Let me tell you something. Even if you've been podcasting for 2 years, which is still relatively new, anybody that would say some discriminating, sexist bullshit like this WWE Hall of Famer did, you would be able to just spontaneously react from that and be like, you can't be serious about those comments that you have just made. You don't have to be a female, but the fact that she was a female, I was just so surprised, and I was just shocked. Miss, maybe you shouldn't be doing podcasting, because the thing about podcasting, you are always supposed to go into these interviews expecting the unexpected. I'm very proud to say that when it comes to the interviews that we do for this show, all of our guests, they are not, I repeat, they are not, unlike some other shows, they are not given bullet points, or they are not sent an email or mailed a letter of questions that we're going to be asking them leading up to the show. That's not fair. That's a disservice to you, the listeners. When we get guests on our show, they don't know what we're going to say. There is one rule that I always put out there before the interview. I stress it during the email exchange, and I stress it right before we get ready to do the interview live. I say to them, is there anything in particular you want me to not talk about, or is any and everything off limits? And either I'll get asked anything, man, it's all good. Whatever you want to talk about, no problem. Some, they'll take me up. They'll be like, well, if you could not mention this, that's fine. But other than that, let's have some fun. And it's like, okay, all right, no problem. It's never scripted. I always go in basically expecting the unexpected. I have an idea of what questions I'd like to ask them, and just going off of what they're putting out there, if there's something that I can latch on to and expand from there with what they're saying back to me, I'll run with it. And I'm sorry, but for somebody to make sexist comments, here's the thing. If I were to take Tammy, or if you all out there, you guys that have your women, and you had Craig the Hammer Valentine say that shit, 9 times out of 10, either you and or your significant other would be tag teaming on Greg the Hammer and be like, you can't possibly be serious about your train of thinking with regards to a woman's position in the world today. It's like, dude, this is not the 1930s anymore. Women can vote. Women are in high executive positions in some of the world's top 500, Ford companies, and oh my God, are you fucking serious? So you know what? As far as I'm concerned, this podcast lost any type of credibility in my eyes, as far as even giving 2 cents worth a damn to check out this interview. Because you lost me on the transcript as soon as you said. I was shocked, and I was like, what are you, 14? Get that bullshit out of here. You're supposed to be on top of that. Lord knows I've made mistakes. All of us that have been doing podcasting for 3, 4, 5 years and up, we've all made our mistakes. But the name of the game is learn from it, improve. But you could have a podcast that's just like 3 months old, and you're starting off. Somebody makes some fucked up comments like that, you are going to be on it. You're going to be on it. You're going to react. To not react is like I said, maybe you shouldn't be doing this whole podcasting thing anymore. If you don't know how to handle yourself when you get spontaneous answers like that, you got to expect the unexpected and be able to spontaneously react from there. Straight up. I don't know about you guys, but straight up. I wish that would have been him on my show. After reading those comments, I'm not even remotely interested. At one point I was, a couple of years back, when it came to who could we maybe reach out to, get an interview with or whatever. He was one of the names on the list. It was kind of like one of those, let's come to him eventually. But after reading that shit, I've got nothing to say to him. If that is truly his mentality, if that's his thought process on women and all that, fuck you, Greg the Hammer Valentine. So, you know, those classic promos that he said back in the day, nasty black man and all that other that was probably him being for real. How he generally feels about African Americans. That's the truth. That is the truth.
And this man, the Intercontinental Champion of the world, Greg the Hammer Valentine, defends his belt against the Junkyard Dog here in Boston.
You know, I really don't have to defend it against Junkyard Dog. I'm just giving him one more chance. One more measly chance because he insulted me in Madison Square Garden. In WrestleMania, he insulted me by slapping my rock and roll man, my manager, Jimmy Hart. I don't take that lightly. You understand, Junkyard Dog? You embarrassed me for the last time. WrestleMania is over. I survived it. Survived Tito Santana and yourselves' little scheme to set me up in a garden, and it didn't work. And now, Boston Garden, here it is. This is the bait. As far as I'm concerned, it's the bait, dog, to get you nasty individual, nasty black person into the ring so I can slap you around one more time, because I didn't finish what I started, you understand? I didn't finish what I started. You don't know who I am yet. You don't know who I am yet. The master of the figure four leg lock. And you're going to find out. Going to find out real soon. You're going to taste it. You understand? You understand? I'm going to slap you around, boy. I'm going to slap you down silly. I'm going to slap you down so you go back to the junkyard, or you go back to shining shoes, or you go back to sweeping the floors, or whatever you did. You're not going to wrestle me no more.
Valentine title defense challenger tonight will be Junkyard Dog.
How many more times am I going to have to listen to that horrible rock and roll song? Every time that nasty black man comes out to the ring playing Another One Bites the Dust, how many more times am I going to have to listen to that sickening growl out here on the interviews? Junkyard Dog, I'm sick and tired of you, man. I'm sick and tired of Tito Santana. And we're all going to see what's going to happen to Santana when Beefcake, my Beefcake, takes care of him tonight. And tonight, Junkyard Dog, speaking of tonight, I'm in the greatest shape of my entire life. You want to get down and dirty? We're going to get down and dirty. You want to play Another One Bites the Dust? That's fine with me, man, because that is your story. You understand what I'm talking about? That is exactly what's going to happen to you, man. You're going to bite the dust. I'm going to rub your nasty black face right into the ring, you understand? And all that's going to be left is a big black spot. Oh. Tonight in the Boston Garden, the true Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the true rock and roll wrestling connection. Right to me, baby.
Number one, please don't carry on like that.